Welcome to Richard is a Dork.
Excellent.
Now recording.
The following podcast may have adult humor,
Swear words.
innuendos of a adult nature.
Making fun of me.
That's a given. Everybody looks forward to that. But just know that you have been warned. Hey everybody, welcome to Blind Nights, and we all know why.
We're blind, and it's actually blind nights, sir.
You're gonna get in trouble again.
Well, no one's here.
I'm gonna send it to her. But
Cats, I'm saying sword.
But I do want to apologize for my voice, which is probably worse than normal. I think I got hit by a truck Saturday
You just sound like
afternoon.
Barry White.
Well, hello, ladies. But anyway, so if it sounds a little stopped up or a little off, I do apologize. But we wanted to get a podcast out to you all, so hey and bye.
That would be funny if that's actually like we actually did that and released it.
That would be hilarious. We would get
maybe
it.
like
Other
April
people.
Fools or something, though.
Yeah, this is true. Knights of the Braille News Desk. The Dice Heads has completed the first season. We have recorded a Christmas special, and season 2 will come out at some point next year, probably early next year, but depending on schedules and getting together to get sessions recorded, we shall see.
Wonder who DM'd your Christmas special.
I don't know, but they weren't that good.
Oh, you didn't like the DM?
Nah, never.
Real rules Nazi.
Yeah, can't stand them.
Oh.
Can't stand them. But it was a lot of fun to do, so be on the lookout for that to come out at Christmas time. We'll come up with a couple of new segments here. We did one last week with me giving my experiences as a player in a group of sighted people. We're going to call that the physical table with Richard. Name created by the Jesse here. Not just any Jesse, but the Jesse.
It's like my Twitter handle.
Yeah. Check out these friends of Knights of the Braille.
Hello, I'm Quinn.
And I'm Alex.
And we're
a couple of characters.
We discuss topics related to creating characters for role-playing games.
We talk about fun characters we've created.
And give advice about how to make your own quirky characters.
Check us out every other week, wherever podcasts are found.
The Knights of the Braille Library.
Hey, everybody. And sit down, get a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you prefer. If you're listening to this in the morning, well, maybe you're a day drinker, so if you want alcohol, whatever it is. Today, I have My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Now, Stephen Graham Jones is an author who is kind of notable in the horror world. I would say he writes literary horror, which is it takes a little bit of getting used to for me, like something that's so deeply character driven, because I like great characters, but I'm also into, the horror, the blood and guts, stuff like that. But this book concerns a girl named Jade, or Jennifer, but, she wants to go by Jade. That's her chosen name for this. I guess she changes names a lot. And Jade is a slasher fan. So she views the world through the slasher movie. Well, some accidents start happening in her hometown, and she is convinced that a slasher is starting to take place. She views all the incidents, as I said, through a slasher lens. She has a girl picked out that she thinks is the final girl, and I'm about 250 pages into this. I have about 100 and some to go, but I enjoy it. Jade is a very interesting character. I can relate to Jade because, massive horror fan. She feels that she is an outcast. And Stephen Graham Jones, the author, is Native American, so his characters are usually always, his main characters are usually always Native American. And it also deals with how she's perceived as pretty much the only Native American, or as people call her in the book, Indian in her town. Her dad is a drunkard, things like that. So, very interesting story. The horror is kind of in the background. I think it's going to ramp up in the last 100 pages or so. But I'm starting to think that who Jade has picked out as the final girl may not be the final girl. And in fact, gasp, Jade is the final girl. And I know this book already has a sequel. And I read another Stephen Graham Jones book, which was really good, but I cannot remember the title right now. So, yeah. It was called The Only Good Indians. And that was pretty good as well. But My Heart is a Chainsaw, I would give it 3 stars. Recommend it. And like I said, stick with it because the horror is kind of sprinkled in. It's more about character development. But a good book.
Yeah, you're talking about the Indians made me think about that book, Indian in the Cupboard.
I love that book.
Yeah, that book was good. The second one was nowhere near as good.
I think I read it. I don't remember. And there was also, I had it in Braille and I actually read it. It was obviously very heavily influenced by the Indian in the Cupboard. I think it was probably written at the same time. It was about a boy who got a castle and his little knight came to life.
I thought you were talking about the Cowboy in the Shoebox.
No.
That's just
I actually like the movie too that came out.
Yeah, the movie was pretty good. But my book recommendation it's called Infinite Dusk, Cowboy Necromancer Book 1, by Harmon Cooper and read by, I'm probably going to butcher his name, but Jaws reads it as Macleod Andrews.
I think the only reason I know this, I think it's actually pronounced Macleod, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I would say it was pronounced, but you know how Jaws is sometimes.
I think you and I can agree on this. Best reader of the Sandman Slim books, the NLS Bard reader sucks.
Yes. Yes. But it is a lit RPG, but which I really enjoy reading, and I bought these. I bought the first one because you know how I love like sorcerers, necromancers, things along that line.
Yep.
And of course, I'm
necromancers and dwarves, or sorcerers and dwarves.
So I come across this one that's Cowboy Necromancer. I thought, you know what, that sounds pretty cool. I'm going to give it a shot.
Did you get it one of the sales?
I think I got the first one when it was a sale.
For some reason, I'm thinking of that. I remember that.
Yeah. They're really good. There's parts of it that I really kind of gets on your nerves. It's the fact that, he's constantly talking about like peppers. Because he is a pepper farmer, and then he goes on this quest to, try to kill what they call Godwalkers, which is like an alien race, And it seems like every other sentence or at least in every other paragraph, he's either rolling up and lighting a cigarette or talking about peppers. And that got a little annoying.
It's like overdone.
Yeah, but not so much that I'm going to quit reading the book.
Yeah.
In fact, I just finished the last one. And as far as I can tell, it's going to be the last one. They may write more. I don't know. But
does it continue your love affair with lit art? Sorry, I was moving my phone. Lit RPG side characters, because I feel like you always say the characters in the lit RPG books, the side characters are better than the main.
Not really. There's really not. While he's like the main focus, I really didn't hate nor did I really grow attached to any of the other side characters.
Because I know there's
really
the
like,
one book that has a shit demon or whatever it is.
yeah, that would be Noobtown. That's probably still my favorite lit RPG, although the Ripple system, which I can talk about next week, actually,
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever heard you mention that.
it's really good. But I'll talk about that next week. But as far as Cowboy Necromancer, it's set like in New Mexico, post-apocalyptic, of course. You know.
Oh, that's your sweet spot.
Yeah. Which is another one of the reasons that I got it, and it's really cool there because you'll come across like, well, that's where the subway was, you know, and you're thinking like subway train, you know,
Yeah,
but then
but
they
he
talk
means the
about it
restaurant.
being the restaurant, yeah, and and some of the characters be like, yeah, they were everywhere. That and the Walmart, they were everywhere. Because when you think about it, in reality that we live in, yes, they are everywhere.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know, but it's really good. I like there's enough tension there to keep you entertained, you know, and
And
enough
Macleod
humor
Andrews is kept a great reader. I feel like.
Oh yeah, absolutely great reader.
Like
You
if
know.
they're supposed to make a Sandman Slim TV show, and I wish it would be animated just so he would do the voice. Like it'll be weird hearing James Stark talk as someone that's not him.
Right, and I may watch the first one, but I'm always so hesitant about stuff that I really like
Right.
going to watch it, which is, you know, one of the reasons I was really hesitant about watching the Reacher movies. I know they did one. I think they did two.
They did too. I like those, but I mean, I haven't read the book, so I
wasn't crazy about them.
But you like the series, right?
Yeah, I love the series on Amazon.
Okay.
I thought it was really good, really well done.
You just don't like Tom Cruise.
No, because he was in one of my favorite movies, so it's not him.
What movie is
but
that?
I just don't. Days of Thunder.
Oh.
It's more or less he's not who I picture Jack Reacher being, and you know, once you can even go into a movie trying to be unbiased, but you know that's going to it's going to be there. But
are these long books or?
It's a good series. I can't tell you how many they are, but there's some short story ones in there.
I mean,
too,
like lengthwise of the Cowboy.
You mean like? Oh, gotcha.
Sorry.
Around 14 hours or so, but see,
that doesn't seem too bad.
No, I read at 1.5, so
I do 1.25.
I don't know.
On the reader.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the 1.5, but there's some of them that I, go down to 1.1, some of them to 1.2.
I don't know if you've come across this, and I know this is getting off topic, but I feel like I need it to be slower when it's a British reader.
Both of these recommendations. Was yours on Audible or?
I read it on Kindle, but I know it's on Audible.
Gotcha. So be sure to check it out.
Might be cheaper if you have an Audible credit, because I think the Kindle book is like $14. I got it on sale for like $2, but that was like a once in a lifetime thing.
The life of an adventurer is not always frills and thrills, because we have to travel on the road. Sometimes we eat something that doesn't necessarily agree with us. Even a dwarf's constitution can only take so much. Thunder and lightning toilet paper is there for what ails you, for whenever there's more to the thunder than just rain. Be sure to get you some. It should be in everyone's adventuring gear.
The creature feature. Hey everybody, welcome to the creature feature, which I know is one of my favorite segments of the podcast. Not sure
what do you
about
have
Jeff.
this week? I love it too because there's always you always get things that I've never heard of.
Maybe you've heard of this one though.
Okay.
The Flind or the Flind. I'm not really sure how it's supposed to
No,
be pronounced.
I did not. I don't think I have, at least. The name doesn't sound familiar.
It is a vicious, vicious creature. It really, really is. It is a gnoll that is it's a made demonic war leader. You've heard of a gnoll.
I was just going to say, so you have seen before, what the hell actually is a gnoll? Because I've heard the word before and I never knew what it was.
I don't know that I've ever actually seen a gnoll.
Is it a rogue I'm thinking?
No, I'm not sure, but we can do that next week because this one is F. Next week is G, so we can do gnoll next week. And then
I'll ask Katie what a gnoll looks like.
I think it's like a dog creature.
Oh, okay. Are they
I'm
real?
not 100%. Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought they. Okay.
Anyway, these Flinds or Flins. I'm gonna go with Flind because that just sounds
Maybe it's
better.
Flind. Maybe you have to announce the D.
I don't know.
Flind.
I'm stopped up. I really don't care.
I'm just trying to be annoying as shit.
You forget I can mute you and totally cut you out of this whole.
But then it'd be like you're
recording.
talking to yourself.
So at least I'd get a full sentence out. Ain't that right, Steven? The Flind is created by Yanagu, who is a demonic god, and they are extremely vicious. And unlike most war leaders, they actually are at the forefront of their war party.
That's
and
cool. I like that.
Yeah, I really like that too. And their flail causes pain, paralysis, and disorientation.
Wow.
Their armor class is 16. They have an average of 125 hit points. And they are a challenge rating of 9.
Ooh.
They have something really cool that, at least in my reading, I haven't come across before. But it is the aura of bloodlust. Or bloodthirst, excuse me. And as long as they're conscious, any creature, keep that in mind, I say any creature within 10 feet of them that has the rampage can use bite as a bonus action.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
I like that.
Here's how I interpret that. If you're a barbarian, you're raging, you can use bite.
As long as you're a creature.
Is a human not a creature?
Probably, but I'm thinking that's not what they intended. Well, who knows? Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah,
I
it
said,
is.
that's how I would go
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, I see that. Yep.
I mean, you can't, and I know a lot of people who are probably listening to this will nitpick and all.
They're thumbing their noses. My nose not how I read it.
Right, but yet if it was to benefit them,
They'd be all for it.
Yeah, more so than this would. I mean, you can probably use like better bonus actions than that, but if you have lost your weapon, I mean, go for it.
And I think that's normal. I think that's what someone would try to attack any way they can.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen my dwarf barbarians and fighters. They'll do anything. They do possess a multi-attack, which is 3 attacks. They can shoot 3 longbow arrows. What do you think about that? 3 longbow arrows. They get a +6 to hit with it.
I like that. I mean, they seem nasty.
Check this out, though. 1 flail of chaos attack, +9 to hit with it.
Oh.
An average of 10 damage.
Oh, that's
And
gnarly.
if they fail their wisdom save, they have to attack a random creature. Or
That's where the
if there's-
disorientation would come in.
Yeah, and if there's not one around them, then they have to flee. You know, kind of like the whole fear effect thing. Alright, here's the second attack with the flail. It's a flail of pain attack. And they get a +9 to hit. And it's an average of 10 bludgeoning damage. That's the same as before. Plus an average of 16 psychic damage.
That's wiping out a party.
It can get there if it hits, yeah.
How many attacks
know-
do they get?
They get 3 total. You either get 3 of these flail attacks or 3
Okay.
longbow attacks.
Can
And
you
here
mix- The way you play, would you mix and match those?
no,
Okay.
I would not mix these.
Okay.
Because you would have to put your flail down in order to pick up your longbow.
Yeah. See, I don't think
here's
of
the
logistics.
yeah. Here's the flail of paralysis attack. It is a +9 to hit. Again,
And
10
damage.
bludgeoning damage. Yep. And if they fail their Constitution save, they're paralyzed. That's pretty bad, right there. I mean,
Yeah, it
you know,
is.
that's pretty sweet.
Now, how does paralysis? I've never really dealt with that. When you're paralyzed, do you have to roll a con save every time it's your turn, or you can attack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if the con save is super high, then you're kind of fucked.
And that's the thing, you know, you can be. But I thought that was a pretty cool creature feature
That
there.
is,
you know?
yeah.
So I
You
mean,
always come up with good ones.
I try to. I try.
Do you suffer from abnormally loud foot odor? The kind where you're embarrassed to take off your shoes in public? The kind that makes the inside of a rental bowling shoe smell like roses and petunias? Maybe you're the one that everyone asks who did it in the elevator, but it's actually your foot odor seeping through your shoes? Well, fear no more, because Flint Lips foot odor consumables are here. All you do is eat one of these chewables each morning, and your horrible foot odor problems are a thing of the past. They come in 4 different flavors: grape, strawberry, lime, and cherry. So, what are you waiting for? Step into a world free of foot odor. Call 1-800-442-6969 to order your risk-free trial kit today. No purchase necessary, must be 13 and older.
Welcome to Termonology Tidbits.
A segment called Termonology Tidbits. And these tidbits are going to come from like every kind of tabletop gaming. And we're going to start doing that today.
How many do you
we
think
would-
I'll know? Just
we'll see. We'll see.
because you know me.
Some of them are, you know, rather obvious. Some of them are not so much.
Okay.
And welcome to the news segment of the Blind Knights podcast. Named Termonology Tidbits. I named it, but Jesse, of course, recorded the little intro, which is freaking awesome. Well, you know, the name is. I'm not sure about the voice, but then you know how my voice
I figured
is.
you weren't giving me credit.
I did give you credit.
Yeah, but then you're like, I'm not sure about the voice.
Well, I'm not sure. I'd love to have, you know, somebody like Macleod Andrews doing it. But, you know, we can't
He
afford
would charge too much.
him. Yeah. But we're going to go over terminology that can be used in any type of gaming, more specifically tabletop gaming. It does not have to be Dungeons and Dragons. It does not have to be Dungeon World. It can be any game. And today, Jesse, we have a team. Like the capital A team. Do you
Team
know
or
what that
team?
is? Team. Team.
Like a group of characters or a party?
That's one way to look at it. The definition here is a group of players, or more specifically characters, that are the main focus of like a campaign, and whereas you would have a B team who would do like not part of the main campaign, could be like a rather long running side quest, and you combine both of them to make a whole team, but you have like the number ones and then you have the number twos. Yeah. They're kind of like the secondary team.
Right.
And, it's not usually something that's really brought in a whole lot, because usually you stick on the straight and all
your group's
campaign.
Usually smaller to where...
Yeah. Which, and while I am going to be taking a break from running D&D for a while, may, when I come back, may have like a B team, as well, and do like some side quests, with that team. Could be something really, really fun, But, I really like the terminology, and I think it could be fun, because then you can have like two different characters in part of the same campaign, but really
the idea is
not
really cool, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has its benefits there. But really enjoyed the podcast. Thank you for being the co-host as always, and ask again everybody to please like, share, and subscribe.
Welcome to the Physical Table with Richard.
For the physical table, we're going to be, I'm going to be giving you my perspective as a blind player, playing with a group of sighted people, as well as the dungeon master or game master, point of view. So I think it's going to be really interesting. I hope you all like it. So we will, keep that going. And yeah, we didn't meet this past Thursday for a session. But me and a couple others met up at this little Mexican restaurant here in town. Fantastic. I mean, all food was fantastic. And, we talked about our characters, helped one of the players who isn't new to, role-play gaming, but kind of likes to be a perfectionist, tries to, like, get deep into the character. Yeah. So we talked about how we would have known each other and, stuff like that, because we decided that our group, our little 3 people, will have worked together before.
I kind of like that. Like, I like doing that, but I also like the idea of having adventures where, like, you stick with the same party, so, like, your adventures in the game has built your relationship, kind of.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen overall. We're just saying that the 3 of us knew each other beforehand.
We have to work on that. You and I are characters for for Mitch's campaign.
Yeah. Still thinking about that. But, we are supposedly going to meet this Thursday, unless life happens. So we will see how that goes. So everybody, hope you enjoyed this, part of the podcast, and, we'll keep it up as long as the campaign goes. I mean, what else
just to remind everybody, who is your character again?
Gorthan Bloodaxe.
You have another Bloodaxe?
Yeah, Stonemeyer.
Are they related, or haven't you thought that out?
Nah, I hadn't thought all that out.
Okay.
There's probably a bunch of different Bloodaxes.
I know, but Stonemeyer was great.
Oh, he was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll keep this like I said, going as long as we meet.
This episode is brought to you by the Knights of the Braille and is made possible through the support of viewers such as you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to get all of the latest information and episodes. Thank you.